And today we have myself, third year PhD student at DTU. I also have my colleague Adam, and together we are
Hello.
trying to build this platform for mentorship matchmaking to help PhD students to find a suitable mentor. And to do that, actually, this video purpose of this video is to actually get more about you, to know more about your mentorship style, what is your expectation from your mentee, and just to know some logistic to help mentees decide whether you are a good fit for them or not, or whether they are good fit for you or not.
Yeah, sure.
So I have some very easy questions
Mm-hmm.
now, and I think I will like to start. I would like to know what is your background, what are you doing right now, what is your study background? Can you
Yeah,
tell us?
sure,
Yeah.
sure. So I'm a master of electrical engineering from DTU from 20 years ago or something like that. Also did a PhD at DTU and a postdoc also at DTU, and had a small research group at DTU where I had various master students and PhD students there. Then I went to a startup, found DTU startup, and were there for 12 years or something like that, as a development engineer, and then later as a manager and a director of R&D. Worked with technology developed at DTU and had a lot of interactions with DTU still, and had interaction with professors and PhD students and master students in that role. And but recently I've been working with A.P. Maersk, which is the Danish shipping company, as an innovation manager.
Yeah, thanks a lot for that background. I guess coming off of that, I was wondering, since you do have some experience as PhD and postdoc, you'd probably be able to handle mentoring both types of people.
Mm-hmm.
Are you comfortable working outside of the electrical engineering background? Is there other specializations that you think you'd be comfortable working with, or more in general, anyone who has done PhD or postdoc?
I don't think the specialty matters that much. I think that the journey as a PhD student they're all different, right? But it's more or less the same challenges that they all sort of face, and obstacles that they have to overcome, and also the joy of the PhD is sort of the same, but the disciplines are different, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think that the discipline. So I don't see myself sort of mentoring on the professional level. I think the current PhDs are already much better than that today, right? Know their field, so it's more about the leadership part of the management. What do they want out of it? How do they navigate through the PhD? How do they interact with the campus and the supervisors and the international community? And so basically figuring out how to navigate the whole journey. I think it's a very, being a PhD student is the first time you're sort of set loose on your own, trying to navigate a research field, which can be super difficult. And it's often very beneficial to have someone to interact with and challenge you, and sort of give advice, or and challenge both ways. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
Thanks for your explaining. And I like to know that what is your expectation from your mentees when you are going to meet them and you do mentorship program. Do you have any expectations from your mentees?
Yeah, well, I thought about it, but I think the most important thing is that you're motivated by the field that you work in, and you're motivated by wanting to do research. I think that's the most important thing. And if you have that, then I think that's the key thing. That you're engaged in this PhD because you're motivated by doing research and explore new things, and find that thrilling in some way or form, right? I think that's the most thing. And so every PhD meets challenges on the way in motivation. You hit some lows and some highs during a PhD. That's quite normal, right? So but the underlying sort of motivation for doing it should be there and should be good. I think that's the only sort of requirement. Then I think.
Adam? I think we lost Adam.
Yeah, he froze.
Yeah. So my next question would be that a lot of mentees actually they like to go into private sector. They are not looking for academics, and they are looking for job in a private sector. Will
Yeah.
you be interested helping people in only an academic part, or you will also be helping them in finding a job, in networking, and how to find people in a job search?
Yeah, sure. I think I can help in both directions. I went somewhat down the academic career,
Mm-hmm.
not the full length,
Yeah.
but I went somewhat down there, and I've been interacting with a lot of professors in the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, I've mainly been in the last 15 years, been in the industrial part of the segment, but very much on the front end of industrial, so technology development and new business development and so on, and also been involved in startups and so on. So, of course, this is where I have my most recent experience, but I would feel comfortable in sort of both directions.
That would be very nice actually. And how often you like to meet your mentees? So once in a 1 month or 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think once in a month is fine, and if there's
Yeah.
periods of every 2 weeks, that could also be arranged. It all depends on what kind of things you're working on, and yeah. So I think we'll find a level, right? But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
once in a month, and in periods maybe every two
Yeah.
times a month. Yeah,
This
depends.
program is starting at August and finish in December,
Yeah,
and we are expecting at least one meeting, every month. So 4 meeting in 5 months, and
yeah,
I think one of the meeting, if happens in your workplace, where you invite mentees to your office, and let's say office space, that would be nice. But it
mm,
would also be okay to have a video conferencing, and anyway you feel comfortable, and you
yeah,
can set agenda also before meeting. What do you like to talk about it? So it will be easy to keep a focus on mentor mentee topic. So
yeah.
that yeah, yeah,
So I think
and
I prefer the personal meetings a lot in these kind of
yeah.
discussions.
Mhm.
But of course, in this current situation with all the Corona
Yeah.
stuff, then Teams are so it's also okay.
Yeah. I understand. Tell us something personal about you, like what are your hobbies, and what are you passionate about? What do you do in your free time?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I have a family, so a wife and two kids of
Mm-hmm.
13 and 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Live in a house and not so far from Copenhagen, and of course
Mm-hmm.
I do work, and in my spare time I love the ocean in a way, so sailing and canoeing and yeah, that kind of stuff. I love being outdoors and doing stuff at the sea, just walking trips at the sea. So
Okay. And Adam, we are almost finished now. And
yeah.
one of the thing is, what language do you prefer? Do you Danish or English and both? Or?
Yeah, I think English is the most natural
Mm-hmm.
language, but Danish will also work. But also outside these two, I think it becomes a little bit more tricky.
Yeah. So I think I think we have finished all the like basic questions. And if you have anything else like to share with us or with your mentees, which I have not covered, it would be nice
Mhm.
to hear your thoughts as a like closing remarks.
Yeah, so maybe I just want to say that this mentorship program for PhD students, I think it's a really good idea. I think
Mm-hmm.
in my experience, when I've been supervising 10 PhD students and similar master students in my time, and
Mm-hmm.
I think what I've learned from it is that all can really benefit from having someone outside their supervisor to discuss with and challenge and help them. Every PhD student gets stuck in their project. I think that's quite normal, and something it could be very helpful to have someone that's been through that process to sort of try to guide that way. So I think it's a good initiative.
Thank you for that, and we hope that we also uh, uh, have a success with that, and it can be continue in the future also.
Mm.
And thank you for your giving our time and for this short introduction video for us.
Yeah,
And
welcome.
we will actually keep in touch with you and keep you an update about your mentees. Thank you
Sure.
for that.
Great. Welcome.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining us.
yeah. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
joining.
Yeah.
And
Welcome.